My former videos, I said this was probably like junk food, but it really isn't. You know, I was looking at this, and here's the ingredients. It's really not that bad. So, you know, the sugars are relatively low as well. So, and it's brown rice. So this really isn't junk food. It's pretty good. I'm gonna have some with Betty. Cat here, Biggest Fruity. It's Saturday morning and it is Vlogust day 15. And I wanted to take you on with us to a field trip today because what we're doing is, it's kind of funny. It's kind of like, do you remember that show Fantasy Island from the, I think it was the, I don't know, late 70s, you know? Maybe early 80s, but I think it was late 70s. And, you know, Ricardo Montalban was the host, and all these people would pay big money to go to this special island, and he would fulfill their fantasy, whatever that was, you know. And it was like, he would even, like, if they wanted to go back to the roaring 20s, he would even set it up so that they felt like they were there. And that was kind of interesting. Well, we decided to do a little bit of a Fantasy Island thing for our kids today because, you know, they've been really interested in the lives of the Cartwrights on the show Bonanza, which is like a cowboy show from the 70s. And they love the characters. They love Ben Cartwright, and everybody wants to be Little Joe, and one of them wants to be Hoss, and of course there's Adam. And if you're not familiar with that show, it's very campy. It's kind of a neat little cowboy show, you know. But anyway, you know, they lived in the Old West, and I guess where it was supposed to be, where they were supposed to be located was the Ponderosa, which was their ranch, was supposed to be, and I believe that it's up in northern Nevada, you know, so it's quite a ways. The area where they would have been is quite a ways from where we're at in Nevada, but you know, they believe that it's all real, and the Cartwrights are still there, you know, running their ranch. And so there's a little place out here called Bonnie Springs, Old Nevada, and it's kind of like a fantasy island. It's like it's supposed to be like a historically, you know, reenacted cowboy town. And so we're going to take them there today, and they think they're going to the Cartwrights town. And we explained to them that the Cartwrights are not there. You know, of course, they're away working or whatever. And, you know, it's like, I think it's harmless. You know, it's something that they want, you know, to basically, you know, it would be really fun for them. It's their fantasy island. And, you know, they actually go through a reenactment of like a gunfight and stuff. So there's real cowboys, you know, and the sheriff is there, and he puts a guy in jail, and then they're supposed to have like a hanging, but it doesn't work, and it kind of ends up to be kind of like a joke, so nobody really gets hurt or anything. And I think we might leave before that part because it might be kind of weird to talk about it, but the gunfight, you know, is kind of like very Bonanza-ish, and so I think they'll have a good time. So we will, we'll see. They have, you know, this beautiful pond and some ducks and stuff like that there. We can take a look at them. But anyway, so we'll take you along today, and I'll show you some of that. So we are driving out to Red Rock because it's kind of like in the middle of nowhere out here. We've been there before, but the boys don't remember. Aren't these beautiful and majestic, these mountains? So awesome. Waiting for a train to take us through the town.
Somebody call 911 if they go up. You know what? We're gonna party and go up and have. You ought to not hang me.
Well, why should not hang me?
Because if you go and hang me, your wife's gonna get real lonely.
You want to go in and get a picture?
Just Isaiah then. They used to be here. You want to go through it again?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, those are graves. That's how they used to bury people. Enjoying some grapes, and I'm going to be cooking these mushrooms up for a little bit, and I think I left them too long in the marinade, but they'll probably still taste okay. I'm going to cook some of these. I'm going to bake them really low in the oven, and then some of them I'm going to cook on the stove top, and I actually might grill a few because I want to see which one, what's the better way, you know. So what's the other way I'm going to cook is up on the grill top. I can't actually, I mean on the stove, I can't grill them because we don't have the fixings for that outside. So I'll see how this looks. Back, and we're just about to get ready to do our workout together. And we're down in the playroom. And I didn't know until after we went to Bonnie Springs today. Mr. Fruity told me, okay, first of all, we got out to Bonnie Springs, and I told the kids this is the Cartwright's town, blah, blah, blah. And then Isaiah blurts out and he says, the Cartwrights are dead. And I said, what are you talking about? And he said, Dad told me. And
well,
so it turns out, Walt was wanting to be totally honest with them. And I guess, when did you have that talk?
this morning.
Just this morning?
Well, we've had some talk about
Oh my goodness.
people growing older and passing on a few times.
Well, okay,
in
so
the
he
last few
explained,
days.
did you tell him they were actors?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! So I didn't even know now they know the Cartwrights are actors, and that he actually explained to them all of their diseases and how they died.
Well, not all of them.
Well, oh my gosh! Now we know. Well, I mean, he talked about
We talked a
cancer.
little bit about cancer and how you should eat properly your fruits and vegetables to help combat cancer.
Well, we probably shouldn't have told them right before we went to Bonnie Springs. Oh my goodness! I said, well, what's next? Are you going to tell them about Santa having heart disease and high cholesterol?
He's overweight.
It's all that milk and the sugar cookies that he eats, I guess.
Sorry.
Oh, all right. So anyway, the kids still enjoyed it. Okay, we're gonna have those mushrooms on something after we work out. See you in a bit. I wanted to talk to you really quick about reclaiming food memories, because a lot of times, we have something that we think fondly of in our mind, but it was associated with the days maybe that we were having animal products or struggling to have animal products, not to have them. But this was definitely a day I was not vegan at all, and we were just married not too long, right? Like a month, I think. And Mr. Fruity was in the Air Force, and he went over to Spain first, and then it was like 8 weeks before I saw you, right? 6 weeks
Yeah,
or
6 or 8 weeks. Yeah,
Oh gosh,
it
it
took
was
some
forever.
time to get you processed in and everything.
Yeah, and so then when I finally flew over, the first thing we did that night was we went out they have bars everywhere, and so they have all these different tapas. And there goes the buzzer. So, no, it's okay. I'll turn it off in a minute. Sorry. Anyway, so the first thing that we did, he noticed I was hungry, and so we went out to this place. It was called Bar Garcia, and it was right around the corner from where we lived. We lived in a tall apartment building, and at the bottoms of the apartment buildings, they had, stores and things like that. Like there was, really cute little stores. But they always had little bars and taverns, and so we went down there to get something, and he came out of the bar. I didn't want to go in the bar because I'd never been in the bar, and I didn't get the whole bar scene in Europe thing, that's like what people do. And so I said, no, I don't want to go in the bar. I've never been in the bar before. So I waited outside, right? Okay. Years later, after that, I was okay with it. But he said, okay, I'll get you something to eat. So I went in there, and he came out with like a baguette sandwich, and it was like a French bread with tomato on it, and then like it had jamon, right? It was like tomato. So then they served like Serrano ham, which is a special kind of ham they serve out there, and that's what I had that night. And I remember the memory being sweet because of what he did for me. I thought it was sweet that he wanted to take care of me. But, it kind of makes me feel sad now that, I don't want to have animal products on it, but the sandwich was good with the tomato and the bread. And the reason why it was so good is because I think they actually rub the tomato and garlic on it before they give it to you. And sometimes they do put ham and sometimes they don't. Well, and I thought, why don't we just reclaim that memory and make it better with no animal products? So the mushrooms that I've been soaking, I'm actually going to try to reclaim that food memory and just kind of make it even better by not having any ham on it and using my smoky mushrooms instead. So I'll show you how I make it. And you had a bit of the mushroom already, and how'd you like it?
Very good.
Awesome.
Delicious.
Awesome. Okay,
Yeah,
so the parts of that memory were sweet, but the ham on it I don't care for. So I'm not going to do that. So I've got a couple of fine ripened tomatoes. I'm going to cut those in half. This has been lightly toasted, my gluten-free bread, and it is vegan. It's the Char brand, and it's, you know, it's made with soy. And so I've lightly pressed my garlic so that I can get some flavoring, and I'm going to rub that on here, and I'm going to rub the tomato, and then I'm going to put my mushrooms on. These have been in a 170-degree oven for about an hour, and then, so they're a little more drier, and then these ones here I cooked on the stovetop. And then I'll put that on, and I'll put it back in the oven. So you're going to have for lunch this, I've got lima beans and the Amy's organic lentil vegetables. So I rubbed them on, and I'm just placing the tomatoes here and there on there. And Mr. Fruity thought that that we sat down inside. He seems to remember sitting inside, but I didn't, because I think I was kind of prudish, and I was afraid, you know, as I was growing up, I always saw those signs on the outside of bars, and they said, you know, nobody less than 21 years old is allowed in, and I thought, well, there must be like naked people dancing up on the bars or something on the bar itself, and they're doing all this naughty stuff, so I don't want to go in there. And so that's, you know, that's why I waited outside. For some of you going, you know, why did you go in? You know, then of course I learned that it was a totally different culture out there, going into the bars. All right, so I'm going to put these in the oven to warm them up, and we're going to have some lunch. Tell me how you like it.
Delicious. You guys want to make one?
It's pretty good. Simple, but very, very tasty.
Really good.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.